It's time to talk fantasy football. It's time to let them know. Where you let us crunch the numbers while you crush the competition. So grab your playbooks and crack a cold one, because here's your hosts, Teak and Baney.
Welcome back to another episode of the podcast. I'm your host, Teak. I got my guys next to me, Baney and the Badger. We're talking sits today, all right, to wrap up the week here. These guys, you want to ride that nice pine, going into week 9. We're going to kick it off straight with the QB position. We're going to go around the horn as usual. Baney, why don't you start us off here?
The reigning fantasy football sweetheart, Will Levis. We got to bench him this week. I know people are going to want to ride, recency bias and all that stuff. However, I don't think you can ask for a worse game 2. Is a short week. You get the Thursday night draw. And, I think this is going to be Aaron a day late. So sorry if you played him. He got TJ Watt coming at you. I don't want any part of that at all. And then you run away, and then you get Highsmith running at you from the other side. I don't want any part of that as well. Mike Tomlin has a great track record against rookie quarterbacks as well. We got a scumbag below me that can talk about Steelers football the rest of the night, so I don't have to.
Here we go.
But short week. I everybody loves him. I loved him. It was a lot of fun to watch. I just can't co-sign starting him. If he goes off and I'm wrong and everybody can tell me about it, then maybe I'll believe going into the following week. I just need to see more, and I don't love it against this defensive line. So, Badge, sing your praises.
Nope. We're not going Badge. I'm going ahead of this because this is going to take a while. I already know it's going to take a while. So I also have Will Levis as a sit. So I don't think he repeats his showing from Atlanta. Steelers can actually apply pressure to the QB position. Atlanta does not. I think that's going to be the biggest difference in Thursday. Like Benny said, we are going to be a day late on this one, but go ahead, Badge. Let me kick back here.
A day late or a day early, doesn't matter. Tomlin is very good against rookie quarterbacks. Not a lot of success there. Only thing that makes me worry is no Minka, but I think the pass rush, like Baney said, is going to get it done and apply the heat. And plus, I think this might be the lowest scoring game all year. Therefore, take the under. Subscribe and you'll get that bet on Discord. Levis had a great debut. I don't think he's going to have a great encore. I don't know. Whatever the word I'm looking for, but I like the sit. So I think it's gonna be a low scoring grind in Pittsburgh, cold weather. So I think this rookie's gonna have some heat applied. So might get Hayward back too. So like the sit. Go Steelers.
This Thursday night game is going to be a stinker. Your quarterback's coming in banged up, battered. They say he's going to play. I don't know if he should, but yeah, I think your under might be cashing this week.
Cashing. Take it now because it's 37 when I looked earlier. So, but like it, Baney. Should I go right into mine?
Yeah, you're the only one that's left.
Okay. So on my notes here, you guys are gonna like this. I'm going to AFC North. I got a sad face because you guys know I'm just like this when I talk about them. I'm sitting Gino Smith against the Ravens. Hate to do it, Gino, because I've been rooting for you all year. I wrote back. They didn't. Remember that. The Ravens defense is clicking on all cylinders. Gino, you're traveling to the East Coast against a very hot team. I don't like the matchup. I hope you win. I am sitting you this week, Gino. Sorry. I hope you get the dub. I'm rooting for you. So prove me wrong, please. Baney.
Yeah, the receipts are out there. We did a top players to fade episode before the season started. My number one was Gino Smith. and it was for this slate of games that he's going up against. It started with the Cleveland game. It's going into Baltimore. Baltimore's defense is much better than we anticipated. The sack numbers are ridiculous. Yeah, I think it's going to be a doozy of a game for Gino. I really do. Yeah, it's about all I have to say. Sit Gino next week too, probably.
I'm pulling for you though, Seahawks.
Yeah, as far as Gino Smith goes, he's been. I don't know how would you describe his performance fantasy wise so far?
Some people love Gino. He can do no wrong. And then, like, even a mediocre game's great to them. I haven't been thoroughly impressed, to be honest with you. I thought with JSN and everybody else, I thought he was going to have a great smash to the beginning of the year, and then now we'd start to see the fall off. He's had a couple good games, but not the fantasy sweetheart of last year, I don't think.
Yeah, he's kind of up, down, flattened out. A lot of potentials. Rocket arm, I think. A lot of weapons. Great run game. So.
Ever since the bye, he's kind of floating around 15 fantasy points per game, which is you kind of want to see 20 plus out of your quarterback. This game is going to be no different, I believe. He's going to have to throw some touchdowns here and take care of that ball. He does have 6 picks right now as well. Yeah, I like to sit, especially this, like Badge said, Baltimore's a hot team right now, and this defense is winding up too. So
traveling to the East Coast is never easy.
Like I said, we documented it at the beginning of the year with the fade. He had majority of his turnovers last year in your fantasy playoff weeks. He probably cost some people some money at the end of the year with his poor quarterback play. I think that these defenses he's going up against are going to be brutal. So I think this is a warranted sit.
But moving on to the running backs.
Teek's mad at me. I put the Bears running back room. I didn't pick a player. I pick all of them. Reason being, if you like Roshan, we all like Roshan. It's not going to matter because the phrase too many cooks in the kitchen applies to this team. 4-string running back sniped a touchdown last week. Shouldn't happen. It's obnoxious. Saints rushing defense, very good. I think the game script is going to require the Bears to be throwing the ball if they want to try to stay in this game. Yeah, it's just not a recipe for success for me. We have a history of fading running back rooms. We did it for the Ravens. I think we did it for Washington at least 1.2. I think Bears, it's just a circus, man. It's just a spinning carousel. I want no part of it.
Yeah, I think they're over there trying to figure things out with Badgent. So, I mean, tough matchup against the Saints. I mean, I'm not looking to start any of those running backs. So, Teek, let us know your thoughts.
Yeah, I'm staying away from the same thing. It seems like even like I had my list. I think I said this last week. There's people I stay away from, the running back rooms. The Bears is one of them. I think Washington was my other one, and then Baltimore. So those are the 3 main ones I stay away from. I can't remember a good Bears running back besides Matt Forte, dude, that stood out in fantasy. So I kind of shy away.
I got nothing else.
Yep.
But Badge?
So mine, I mean, I don't know if you're going to be able to afford to sit this guy or not. Definitely DFS lineups straying away. FanDuel, come on, man. I'm begging. I'm praising. I'm calling out. Like, don't miss it. Don't miss us. But like I said, I don't know if you guys can afford to sit him or not. I'm going Tony Pollard against Philly. This Philly run defense has been stingy. They're shutting down run games left and right. I mean, they shut down one of the best in the Dolphins. I believe this is going to be a passing game, a shootout. That's what I think. I'm excited to watch this game. I don't think anyone's going to be running the ball. Again, if you can afford to sit them, do it. I don't think you can. So in fantasy lineups, especially 10, 12, 14-man leagues. But DFS, I'm staying away. Tony Pollard, unless he can catch some passes, get some space. I'm sitting him this week. So I'll let the Eagles fan let us know.
Yeah, I'm going to be next few days, I'll be resting my voice, drinking the lemon water, trying to make sure I'm in game shape for Sunday. They're going to need me, screaming at the TV. Jalen Carter injury could really make or break this. That's my cause for concern right now. Defensive tackle being hurt. Yeah, dude, if you can afford to sit Tony Pollard, you must have an incredible lineup because I think he's invaluable. That being said, DFS lineups, I wouldn't sniff them, not one bit, to be honest with you. Like you said, could be a shootout, could be relying on Dak's arm for this game. So in that case scenario, yeah, maybe.
Yeah, for me, Tony Pollard's gonna be tough to sit in fantasy leagues. But as far as like how he's been, everybody thought since Zeke was out of the picture, he was gonna be this top guy. He hasn't been that. His first 3 weeks, he had really good games, 22, 20, and 15. After that, he's fell off tremendously with 9, 8. You have a 6 in there. He's not that fantasy guy we thought he was gonna be, that top 3 running back. That PPR guy, especially if you're in a PPR league. But like Badge said, if he doesn't have a good showing on the ground, hopefully he can get some targets for you, some receptions, and to make up for that. But yeah, it's gonna be tough to sit. But I agree, it's gonna be difficult for him.
I just want to see Baney doing the gritty in his Falcons, or in the Falcons. Sorry, I was looking at Teak in his Eagles jersey and his underwear during the game.
Yeah,
I heard stories, Baney.
yeah.
But as for me, for my sit for the running backs, I got Alexander Madison. Kirk Cousins went down for the year with the Achilles, as we all know. They just traded for Josh Dobbs. I doubt he'll be able to play versus Atlanta. We have no clue who's starting. You said that Jaron, I believe, last episode, Badge. Jaron Hall starting or whatever. Atlanta's defense was horrible last week, letting a 100-yard rusher, giving up big plays. Do I see that happening again this week? I don't. Vikings' run game hasn't been anything to write home about whatsoever this season. I think that continues going on against this Atlanta defense, who's been pretty good through 7 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, I got no gripe. I've said it last episode. I'll say it this episode. Teak makes sense. This makes sense. Just sit, follow the blueprint.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. I mean, Madison was my start last week. Like you guys nailed it. You said Akers worried there. I know I think he got the touchdown. So, I mean, he had 16 attempts, got 31 yards, couldn't do much with it. So
he's sniping that work, man.
So sorry for that start last week. So yeah, sit him. Got to, especially against this Falcons defense.
But moving on here to the wide receivers.
So probably the biggest name that I've put on the list for my sits, it's going to be Jordan Addison. I hate it. I love this player, and it's crazy how fast a perfect situation can turn into a nightmare situation. He was playing with Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson goes down. All that target share opens up. Kirk Cousins putting up MVP-type numbers this far through the season. Now Kirk's out. And then people don't talk about their backup quarterback is actually on the IR. That's Mullins. And so now they're actually playing a third-string quarterback. And then they trade for Dobbs. The only way that Addison would get off my list is if we've seen it before, Dobbs does play. He did it for Tennessee, ended up playing a playoff game fresh off the boat, basically. And then he didn't play. He didn't do any training camp with Arizona, showed up on 10 days notice and started the season off for them. I don't know. If Dobbs does play, I wouldn't be terribly surprised, but I just can't see Jordan Addison being super fantasy friendly with what is a third string quarterback. I just can't co-sign it, can't put my name against it. I get it. He's a wide receiver one there, not really competing with anybody outside of Hawkinson for targets, but not this week. I'm not playing him. If you have another option, please take that other option.
Yeah, and not a bad sit. I mean, anytime your quarterback goes down, I mean, look at all the time and practice these guys establish with these timing routes, getting that connection. I mean, the timing could be off. It could throw that all off. I mean, the only thing that I can see is maybe the injured player theory when they come out like Will Levis and just start slinging the rock. I don't know. These new quarterbacks come out and they just surprise us all. But again, with the matchup, the timing, all the practice hours these guys put in with each other, you just know where to throw the ball. You got that connection. I don't hate the sit at all, Baney. So I'll be looking elsewhere as well. Teague?
I think this is definitely going to be a Hawkinson week, like Beatty mentioned. I just think there's going to be safety help for him, so he's not going to get those deep balls. You got A.J. Terrell, who's no pushover. Yeah, he had a bad week last week, but he's still a Pro Bowl caliber cornerback. Yeah, it's going to be tough. Like Badge said, the timing is everything too. But, hey, man, maybe we'll get a Superman showing from Josh Dobbs again. Who knows? But I'm just glad. I know if you're new to the channel, man, before we even started the season, we were praising Jordan Addison. He was me and Baney's top rookie coming out. We both had the same top rookie, and he's showing out. He scored, let's say, 7 TDs so far. He didn't score in 2 weeks, but man, he's been a talent, man.
Yeah, the talent is there. Again, it's just all that timing and practice these guys put in. But who knows?
And he's the guy who single-handedly got Kenny Pickett drafted into the NFL.
First round.
Yeah, come on.
But moving on here, Badge, to your wide receiver.
So my wide receiver, I'm going to sit Joshua Palmer against the Jets. So he got injured last week. He ended up coming back in. And don't get me wrong, I mean, Palmer stepped up in a big way when Mike Williams got hurt. I don't like this matchup. I don't know how healthy he is, but he did come back in. So, I mean, this Jets defense continues to play at a very high level. I mean, they're tough. They are tough. They're allowing the least amount of points to wide receivers this year. I mean, I just don't like the matchup. He got hurt. I know he came back in. I'm sitting him this week. I know you probably have better options in fantasy leagues and definitely staying away from DFS lineups as well. So, Baney, what's your take on that?
My take is like wide receivers seem to be dropping like flies this year. Mike Williams already on that team dropped for the season, done. There was a moment where I thought Josh Palmer's season was over last week. He went down with that knee, and he was like crawling on the ground. It looked like a doozy. Deontay Johnson, same thing. I looked up at the TV last week. I thought he got hit by a car. Like 4 dudes are carrying him on the sideline. He ends up going back in. It's just, I don't know. Yeah. But no, it is a bummer, dude. I wish we could get these guys healthy and stay healthy for the year. I really like Josh Palmer. Especially how you got him. If you got him off waivers, he's been a crazy value asset these last couple weeks. But yeah, I don't think I can touch him this week. He's too much of a liability to probably miss time if he is hit or, banks off the turf again. So are they playing, you said they're playing the Jets?
Yeah. And again, something I didn't touch on, they're traveling to the East Coast again. I don't like those matchups. So
MetLife has the worst turf in NFL. It's the worst field. I mean, that field eats players. It's insane. We saw how Rodgers panned out. There's been several ACLs over the year taken on MetLife. Just watch. If you watch the game, their turf looks like a completely different color. You can see the black turf turds sticking out. Like, the field's garbage. It's really disappointing that, it's a multi-billion-dollar industry, the NFL, and we can't provide a playing surface that keeps players active. It's really frustrating. So good sit.
I like to sit as well. I do believe that Quentin Johnston is finally, we're going to see some life out of him. I think that's going to be the play here. He stepped up last week, Quentin Johnston. I believe he's going to slowly take over this Josh Palmer role as well. So, finally, if you drafted him, hopefully you didn't drop him. If you did, pick him back up because I believe this is where he's finally going to get going here. But yeah, I like the sit as well. But moving on here, I'm making mine quick and easy. I got they put him down. I'm looking at the depth chart. He used to be floating between 2 and 1 week to week. I got Wandale Robinson. He's now wide receiver 3, I just seen on the chart. This team is in shambles. Who's the QB there now? Tommy DeVito? What's his name? Is that his name?
Yeah, DeVito.
It's yeah, dude. He has a necklace with TD, his initials on it. Guy. Syracuse quarterback too. I don't. It's no thanks.
Yeah, it just screams New York Giants to me, and I don't want no part of it whatsoever. With Tyrod's out, I don't like this offense at all. They're going to rely solely on Barkley and Barkley only. So Shark Tank, for that reason, I'm out.
Dude, Saquon Barkley deserves like a Purple Heart for valor going in and going to war on this team every
and
week.
then trying to do the guy assault and was like, hey, we're going to trade you. He was like, no, I want to stay with you guys. Like, why?
Yeah. No thanks.
Yeah, and the thing is, I think Robinson was on our starts week a few weeks ago. I mean, 3 receptions, 2 games. Danny DeVito's brother starting this week. For those reasons, I'm out as well.
Yeah, it's bad over there in New York. But moving on and finishing up with the tight end position here, Baney.
Yeah, so tight end position, crushed it last week. He's not going to crush it this week. I don't think it's going to carry over. Trey McBride, I think the player's great. I love the player. I think he's very talented. Had a really, really good week against Baltimore, really solid defense. However, I don't think that it's going to fare too well against this Browns defense this week. It's going to be rough sledding. Who's playing quarterback there now? Dobbs is gone. Our friend J.R. Mountain's stunt double apparently is going to be playing quarterback this week.
Clayton Tune.
Yeah, dude, I don't know. The only way I could switch my tune on this is if Kyler plays. I don't think he will. I don't think so. I don't think you just take Kyler out of not playing for almost a year and throw him against one of the top defenses in football. I don't think that makes sense. I don't think that's good practice.
But it is Arizona.
But it is. I was just going to say my last show note for this is it's a quarterback circus right now over there, and I don't know. I don't know. That's just all I got. I can't co-sign playing somebody against the Browns. We faded how many players on here that go up against this Browns defense, the Ravens defense. It seems like it's almost every episode, and it pans out. Kenneth Walker last week, 8 fantasy points, half his projection. Trey McBride this week, who knows? I could see this really being a rough game to watch. I'm probably not going to watch it. Probably not going to be a lot of trips to the red zone for either team. So, Badge, let's talk about it.
I mean, a very impressive 14 targets last week. I'm going to keep my frown upside down talking about the Browns. So I ain't going to turn it upside down.
Right there.
You know what I mean? But, yeah, against the Browns, again, traveling the East Coast, new quarterback. I don't like it at all. So, I mean, if Dobbs was there, maybe, probably not. Actually, no, I'd still sit you. But, yeah, I'm sitting him as well. Tiki.
Yep. Everything screams sit with this as well. New QB going up against the top defense. Yeah, I'm out. Covered most of it.
Like
can we put a side by side of JR and Clayton Tune right now? Like timestamp it, minute 24. Clayton Tune, J.R. Smith, side by side. Never seen them both in the same spot at the same time.
Never. And he did.
And JR doesn't work on Sundays. Coincidence? It's making a lot of sense.
It is. It is
making a lot of sense. Man. No mountain fights this week.
Badge, have you seen Clayton Tune?
No, does he look just like
spitting image?
Twins.
Right. Should I
Twins.
Wins? All right, hold on.
You can win.
Give me a minute. Let
I'll
Let
go.
me look them up in the images. Hold on. Can we get a side by side?
Yeah,
We need
I'll
to
put
need
side
have
by
Mountain
side
Man.
up.
Do we need
But,
Mountain Man to sign something?
No, we don't need his consent.
What's
It's
his name again? Quentin what?
Tune.
Clayton.
Clayton
Clayton?
Tune.
But while you're doing that, I'm gonna go here.
All right.
For my sit, I got David.
Oh my
I got
God.
David Njoku. Yeah, I had him in the. Yeah, you seen him. Don't even need the side by side anymore.
No, we need the side by side. The people need to see it.
See,
I won't rest.
last week I started Njoku, or sat Njoku. He went off. I'm going right back to the helm with Njoku. I'm keeping it short and sweet, and I'll let Badge take it away.
So, my sit of the week, I'm going David Njoku. So, this Cardinals defense has been surprisingly good against the tight ends. What's Steve doing? Is he petting Kobe? He threw me off. So, I got thrown off too. Someone came in. But anyways, so like I said, the Cardinals defense against the tight end position has been surprisingly good. They're allowing 4 points to tight ends. And I believe no scores. I'm going with those numbers. I think the Browns, with this quarterback situation, are going to continue to try and run the ball. I'm sitting Njoku this week.
I got nothing to add. I don't know. I just feel like we have 2 tight ends that absolutely blew up last week, and we're both telling people to run away from them. And I think that advice is warranted this week. I mean, tight ends that are attached to backup QBs and in sticky situations. I don't like it. I'm sitting. I like it.
Yeah, you got to forget what you saw last week. That's
recency bias is crazy, but
yeah.
You got to go with the matchups on a week-to-week basis, especially at tight end. It's such a fragile position this year. There was so much hype going into this year, and it just seems like week to week, it's just the same people that are putting up monster games are putting up duds as well. So,
yeah, but that does wrap up our sits episode. We thank you guys for tuning in, no matter where you're tuning in from. If you're watching us on YouTube or listening to us on Spotify or Apple Podcast, please, 60% of you are not subscribed to the channel. So please, it is totally free. I would appreciate it. Benny would appreciate it. Badge would appreciate it.
Oh, I would.
Hell, my Kobe, my dog would appreciate it.
Pick him up. Show him. We want to see him.
Dude, he's a hoss. I can't pick this.
If you guys subscribe, Baney will do the gritty in his underwear.
What?
we just lost subscribers back.
Yeah, we're a PG program here, Badge. But anything else before we take it off here?
I got one more thing. One more thing. This is for you guys. You two specifically. Maybe if we get more subscribers, we'll do these more often. Fun fact. We haven't done one in a while. Fun fact. Do you know Treylon Burks has the same amount of receiving touchdowns as free agent offensive lineman Taylor Lewan?
That's why I probably dropped him out of the league.
Yeah. That's why the Tennessee Titans should have traded for a wide receiver, done something at the deadline. So there's your fun fact. Treylon Burks, 1 receiving touchdown in his career, same as offensive lineman Taylor Lewan.
Fun fact, he's probably going to have 2 now on Thursday.
Yeah, how it usually
prop
goes.
Against the Steelers. But, hey, seriously, subscribe to the channel. We have a lot of fun. We joke, we kid. Sometimes Mike shouts out his neighbor randomly. It's a good time. We're on all social medias, TikTok especially. We keep everything posted on our Discord. If you're a subscriber on YouTube, comment that you want the Discord. We're active in there, sprinkling prop bets, all types of fun stuff. So more subscriptions, we can do more special guests. If you're new to the channel, you might not even know we've had people like Debro on here from Fantasy Pros. We cover a lot of stuff, guys, and it's a lot of fun. A lot of prop bets. Can't say more. It's free, helps the channel out a lot, and we're growing. We've just started this year, so thanks for everything so far.
I want to to see some hashtags.
Thank
Give
you
us
for
the
listening
goal.
to another episode of the Let 'em Know Fantasy Football Podcast. Join our community and follow us on all socials, or keep up with the episodes on YouTube, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts.